showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
Hey. What's going on, folks? What's going on, man? Come on in. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. We are here. What's going on, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to GCOM Radio. You are listening to Nova Phoenix, the host of GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio. And we have another show going in the bank for you guys. I'm just not gonna delay. I just want to get right into the show because I just got a lot to talk about, man. I got a lot to talk about things that have taken place over the past week and recently in the past couple of days. So let's get to it, man. And just to let you guys know, I always keep my head down, man. I always, stay busy, stay focused, try to keep things from out of peripheral and just concentrate on those goals. And I miss a lot of things. And one of those things that it just popped into my head that I could have missed. You know what? I like to just give a shout out to my brother, man. That's one of them. See how I'm messed up? Let me first give a shout out to my brother. His birthday passed a little bit ago, and I missed it by a couple of days, and I felt so bad. And, I shouted him out. And that's one of the bad things about just staying so focused. You tend to miss the important days, and he was cool about it, but I don't want to miss my family's birthday, and I do a horrible job. I'm telling you guys, I do a horrible job with keeping up with birthdays. It's just one bad thing that's that I can attest to that I do, and that's not cool. I just want to give a happy belated birthday to my brother that's out there in the world. Big ups, man. Love you lots, man. Love you lots, brother. So the other thing that crossed my mind was my 3-year anniversary, man. GCOM Radio is going to hit its 3rd anniversary next month, sometime in July. Man, I can't believe it's coming up on 3 years. I remember when I was starting this show, and I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was totally clueless. Even though I do have a background in media and as you guys already know, and I was like, let me do this podcast. Everybody always say, hey man, you should do a podcast. You would have a great presence on the mic. And I was just like, but I'm here, man. And I just decided to go in on it. And as a part of Lyfeblood.com platform, having this podcast is to talk about everything under the sun. And here I am. I'm coming up on my 3rd year anniversary. And that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful that I'm still doing here. So hopefully I do a lot more shows and expand and get bigger with the platform, with GCOM Radio. It's all about what CEO do you know has a podcast along with his social media platform. I don't know of any, and I'm sure there are out there, but ones that people do talk about, ones that people say, hey, this CEO founder has a podcast, you should listen to him. And I'm not the typical founder. I will talk about any of it and everything that gets in front of my eyes, man. Not like Elon Musk. And not that Elon Musk can do it, man, but I don't know why CEOs don't just give out like an hour out of their time, because they could just hire people and, all they got to do is just show up. Here, I'm doing everything. So, man, so my 3rd year is coming up, and I don't know what I'll do about it, in what way. Can't do much because we're still on the tail end of the COVID pandemic shutdown. We are opening up. Major cities, states are all opening up. And that's dopeness. And hopefully people have made the decision what they wanted to do as far as taking the vaccine or not. But yeah, we're getting back into the rhythm of things, not as how it was pre-COVID, but and I know a lot of folks wanted to go back to business, but it's not. But you know, we're gonna get things rolling again up in NYC and all the other cities across states. Yo, I just get this information for Floyd Mayweather, man. Floyd Mayweather, I just saw this before I actually started the show, and I read Floyd Mayweather made $100 million off of that fake fight with Logan Paul. Yo, that blew my mind. I'm like, wait a second. I'm thinking he made like 10, probably 20 million, 30 million, something like that. Jake Paul made a couple million, you know. I'm like, 100 million. He says he finally came forward with how much he made. I'm like, 100 million. I'm like, yo, what's the taxes on that? But then come to find out, I didn't even know the fight took place in Nevada. Nevada doesn't have any income tax. Amazing. So I was like, okay, Floyd Mayweather, he's not. And my wife was saying, yeah, he lives in Nevada. I'm like, really? And looked it up. Sure enough, he lives in Nevada. And then looked at there's no profit, there's no income tax in Nevada, man. All you got to do is pay the Secretary of State $200 a year or something like. Shit, I'm moving to Nevada. Yo, that's crazy, man. But yeah, I'm like, then if that's the case, then a lot of celebrities live in Nevada. Because, you know, it makes sense. You making all that paper. You don't want to get taxed out the wazoo. And you make $50 million, they're taking half. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Because taxes is a mug. When it comes to making those millions, man, IRS come knocking at your door. Yeah, but I just can't believe it. Floyd made $100 million? What? Over exhibition fight? And he was glowing about it too. He was like, what other boxer you know made $100 million on an exhibition fight? Yeah. Hey, man. I cannot knock Floyd, man. I cannot knock Floyd. The BET Awards, man, this came on this past Sunday, man. Big ups to all the winners, everybody that was involved with the BET. Let me tell you something. I know people was on fire talking about, you know, what Lil Nas X did on the stage. You know what he did. And you know, it's all for show. It's really all for show, really. You know, they just want to get people talking what he did. And I don't really care. I'm just like, whatever. You know, Jasmine Sullivan also did her thing with Ari Lennox, singing songs how they gonna handle Ding. If you got the album, you know what I'm talking about. That album is live. And if you listen to the album, you know Ari Lennox was going in with her little opening before the song. Gets me every time I listen to it. She was being honest though. I don't know who she's talking about, but she was being 100% honest. And she was like, listen to the album. You listen to what's, it's funny. I was dying laughing. But at least she kept it real. She was like, hey man, who knew? And who knew it was gonna come from this person? Whatever. So I also saw Lil Baby with Kirk Franklin. What happened to Lil Baby when he was performing with Kirk Franklin? Kirk Franklin was doing this thing, whatever. Lil Baby was just standing there like he was totally in a daze, like clapping his hands in like a half-hearted way. And people were saying, is he just nervous? I didn't know what was going on. It looked like he was nervous. He looked like he was totally out. He was totally out of it. You know, standing right next to the Kirk doing the work. I don't understand why Lil Baby was just standing there. I was like, really? You did enough shows already, man. You had enough, you know, interviews. Now all of a sudden, you don't know what you doing on stage? I don't know, man. That sounds kind of, maybe it was nervousness. I don't know, man. But, you know, for a guy that's making his millions and having, you know, millions of people watch his videos, and I'm sure he did some shows before the COVID situation. And now that he did the BET Awards, all of a sudden he wants to climb up. That's, I don't know, man. Get this brother on the stage so he can get that nervousness out of him. And shout out to Cardi B, man. She's pregnant with another one. Congrats to her. She's living a dream, man, being a mother and being a superstar. So on to baby number 2. Big shout out to Cardi B. Who else? What's going on? You know what? To tell you, You know, I was just thinking this dude name, and I can't remember this dude's name from Migos. Oh man, see that's how what happens to me. I'm just, it is what it is. What is it? Yeah, Offset. I can't remember these people's name, man. I don't remember everybody's name, even the obvious ones. And I know Migos, don't trip. That's just me, man. If you're not in the frontal lobe, I don't pay attention to it, and it goes in one ear and out the other. But the things that are super important, I will remember, and it sticks right there. But there's a lot of stuff that pours into my brain, man, into the skull. You can't expect me to keep everything. I can't remember everything, man. That's why we got Google, all right? That's why we got Google and we got phones. We can take pictures and bookmark pages and get right to it, man. So I'm not a freaking living encyclopedia. I don't know everything. I don't retain information as good as, say, a lot of people, all right? If it's in front and center in my frontal lobe, then I'll remember it. But other than that, man, I'm like, listen, as I said, keeping my head down, doing my work, that's all I'm concerned with. So now the thing is, Derek Chauvin, he got his 22.5 years for the killing of George Floyd. A lot of people were satisfied. A lot of people were not satisfied. And hey, he got the years. Let me tell you something. That judge is mad suspect. That judge been suspect since he said something to the defense about Maxine Waters talking about if they don't get the proper charge or something or other, and he was like, that may be something to appeal or something or other. He said that. I'm like, wait a second, you giving your 2 cents to the what? To this dude, Derek Chauvin? Since then, I was like, this judge is suspect, SWS, suspected white supremacist, and sure enough, you know what? Look, from the judge point of view, he couldn't give him some bullshit years. All right. He knew he had to go to the letter of the law, because if it was any different, then of course the world would have been a set aflame. Okay, and he had to give him those years according to the charge, and he said he had to dismiss the other 2 charges because they weren't, I guess, they weren't as serious as the first charge, so he was going to tack on any years to that. So he's stuck in with 22.5 years. Now, if you really want to go into the nitty gritty, could he have charged him with more years and put it on his sentence? Sure, he could have. He could have given him 30. He could have given him 40. He given 100. Because you know why? I was just reading the article, of course, and I was looking at Beyonce's mother, and Beyonce's mother didn't like the years that the sentencing that he got, because she said her godson, he got 20 years for a little bit of weed. Nothing. He got nothing, and he got 20 years. And there's a list of other people that had little to no, what was it? The whatever they were arrested for was for absolutely, it could have been dismissed. But those cats got years. I mean, 75 years, 60 years, like crazy decades off of little bullshit crimes. So did the years match to the charge with what Derek Chauvin did? No, it did not. Especially when you can compare it to other people that have gotten hit with harder sentences. But, you know, the judge wasn't going there because my man was riding with Derek Chauvin all the way. And that's what happens when you have a system, when you have agents within the system, how it works for white dudes and how it doesn't work for black folk and other POCs. That's just what it is. It's not the words on paper. It's not the law. It's not stuffed in these 100-page or 500-page law books. No, it's the people who wield the sword. It's the people who interpret the law. That's what's important. It's not the words on paper, because if you want to talk about the words on paper, you can charge and convict half this country off of the wrongdoings that people do. But it's about who is behind the desk, who has the gavel. That's why it's important to vote in your local elections, who you want as a DA, who you want as your city council member, who you want as your mayor, who you want as your governor, who you want, that anyone's going to advocate for you in your neighborhood, even comptroller, right down to comptroller. So it's important in your local elections, because look at it right here, man. This SWS, this judge that I was giving a side eye to, had my eyes squinting on this dude. Since he said that, after what Maxine Waters says, look at him, he just gave him the bare minimum. He's like, nah, well, I'm just going, and he said it to y'all too. He was like, well, I'm just going by the law. This is not a message. What was that supposed to say? I'm trying to decipher that when he said, this is not supposed to be a message. Message to who? Message to what? I'm just doing the law, right? Yeah, sure, whatever, bro. So Derek Chauvin is going to get his years. And as I say it like this, you got court justice, and then you got street justice. So I'm sure that he's not going to get no special treatment. Hey, man, he's going to have a lot of fans when he goes to his wherever he's going to. I want to give a shout out to all the people that's been trying now for the Tokyo Olympics. Shout out to everybody that's all the hard work they've been putting in, especially during COVID pandemic during the shutdown, and how they were trying to stay in tip-top form. And and then they actually cleared to go to the Tokyo Olympics. And to these specific women in general, these specific black women, because whenever I'm on IG, these are the images and videos that I see. And I want to shout out to Gabby Thomas, she's second fastest on the 200 meter. Shout out to Simone Biles doing the most difficult acrobatics move called the Yurchenko double pike. She got shorted on that move. The judges only wanted to give, I think it was a 6 point whatever, because they wanted to give her a low mark because they didn't feel that if they gave her a high mark, then it would have put other competitors, they put their bodies and their health in danger if they attempted the Yurchenko and could have been at risk of hurting themselves. I'm like, what's one thing got to do with the other? But whatever. Shout out to Simone Biles. She got to go all over her. Big ups to her. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson on the 100 meters. She was breaking records there. She's heading off to the Olympics. Simone Manuel, she wins the 50 meter freestyle and she's heading to Tokyo. Raven Saunders, man, she put that ball out of here, man. I saw the attempts that she made, but that last one, I don't know where she got that juice from in that arm. She threw it out there, man. She's going to Tokyo. So big up to all the sisters out here doing their thing, going to Tokyo, representing where they're from. So big ups to all of them, man. Next thing, this is a critical race theory. Hearing a lot of things about this critical race theory. I don't know. I don't see the big deal of. Not to say that I can't see the big deal. I think it's a lot of hoopla. Let me say that. Let me rephrase that. A lot of hoopla. Because I see the discussions, the pundits, the news people talking about critical race theory. We have everybody challenging having this argument. And it's going around the world. And my thing is important that we have to really be aware of the words that are chosen when it comes to creating these debates, these arguments over critical race theory. I mean, what exactly is critical race theory? What is the definition of theory? So I went ahead and I looked it up, right? And I think it was Merriam-Webster's dictionary, whatever. They say theory itself is a plausible or scientifically acceptable general principle or body of principles offered to explain phenomena, the wave theory of light, as for example. Another definition, a belief, policy, or procedure proposed or followed as the basis of action. Her method is based on the theory that all children want to learn. History is not theory by that definition. History is fact. That's what we teach in school. That's what we teach in history class. If you want to learn about the history of George Washington, these are facts. You can learn about George Washington, more or less. You understand what I'm saying? You can learn about the Bulls winning 6 championships in the 90s with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and the rest on the Bulls team. They won 6 championships. They actually have documentaries on what happened to the Bulls during that time. And by the way, I wasn't a big Bulls fan at the time because they were just killing it. The life of Martin Luther King, we can understand everything from his very young age to the college he went to, him being a priest, Reverend, I guess you want to call him Reverend, excuse me. Everything that he did in the civil rights movement up until his assassination, right? That's history. There's no theory about that. We're not trying to understand string theory. This is not the theory of relativity. We're not discussing, black holes. At one time, it was a theory of what the existence of black holes. And you have people with calculations and all these folks within the field in that discipline arguing with each other. And they finally did the study and they figure, oh my God, here's the first picture of a black hole. Okay. Those were theories. History is not. History is fact. So when they say critical race theory, I think it's just a bunch of hullabaloo to getting into debating each other. And then really for the people that are pro-critical race theory, they could just make up anything to have this argument. But we're not talking about theory of the past. We're talking about facts of history. There's no discussion. There's no argument about history. Understand what I'm talking about? So I feel we have to stop using this phrase that gets people running around in donuts talking about what critical race theory, because nobody can define it. I've seen a bunch of news shows, people talking about and challenging others that are that are against critical race theory, and they cannot define it when they're challenged. They cannot, and then all of a sudden we have these huge debates of people going back and forth about, I don't want my kid to learn critical race theory. I don't want my kid in high school or in grade school. That's not. And you start chasing each other around. Listen, this is a tactic that's done by those that do not want to solve the issue at hand. And if you can tell me, Nova, then what should they be talking about? Let's talk about systemic racism, because that you can't wiggle yourself out of. There is a defined understanding of what racism is, white supremacy is. You cannot get outside of that. When you discuss critical race theory, someone that wants to say, I don't want my kid to learn it, could think up of anything and pretty much take that argument from place to place, to person, and you'll never get to the root cause. And all you'll be doing is running in circles like a dog chasing his tail. Stop using the word or the phrase critical race theory. It does not exist. It is just, how should I say it? It's the magic that they're trying to, it's the magician that's trying to let the walnut disappear from his hands. Hey, look at the walnut. Really? And you're not really paying attention that this is all an illusion. They're just using that to just carry on and distract you from what we really need to be talking about. That's racism, systemic, that's white supremacy, that's the issues at hand. They cannot avoid the subject matter when you keep it focused on white supremacy. Stop, because and I big shout out to I forgot the name of the actress, but she was talking about it because she was making an argument about it. And let me see if I can get her name. And this is nothing against her. Love her work. Let me think of the movie that she was in. Oh man. 10 G-Way. Oh man, I can't remember the cowboy movie. Androids. What's that movie, y'all, where she's in it and she's an android? Westworld. That's it. Now you're getting to me. Now you're getting to it. Westworld. What's her name, man? That's why I like Google, because then you don't even have to know the exact Tandy Newton. She wants to call herself Tandy now, her full African name. So I'm going to use it as such, Tandy Newton. She was talking about critical race theory, how it's important to talk about racism. I'm like, wow, this word is getting around the globe. Like, people really are picking up on this phrase. And I'm like, no, we can't pick up that phrase. We got to kill that phrase altogether and stick to it. Stick to the root cause. There's no way to wiggle out of that. You can come up with anything with critical race theory. Peanut butter and Superman's dog. I don't want them learning about that. And I'm like, no, we're talking about facts. We're not talking about theory. So, man, I hope please people listen to me when I say this. Repeat it. Talk to your friends about it. and kill that phrase, man, because that don't mean nothing. Critical race theory is just a distraction phrase from people that don't really want to talk about the real issues at hand. The next thing is the Biden's crime bill, man. Biden is he got crime bill 2.0. It looks like. It's funny how when we talk about, and I spoke about it before on the show, right? It's funny how we're talking about all the things that black people are looking for, and it was a big thing when they did the Juneteenth holiday, and everything we're talking about, the George Floyd bill, we're talking about the voting rights bill, the voting acts bill for the people. We're talking about the lynching bill, all these things, and these things just get gummed up in the works. People throw up well, I guess we can't do anything about it. So now we hear about Biden doing this pretty much the crime bill 2.0, where he wants to deal with gun violence that's happening in all the cities. And now he wants to use the money that was coming from the COVID bill, where he wants to fund and have these cities hire more cops. But however, he's saying that there will be funding that's going to also go towards social programs. But here's the trick. He's going to let the states figure it out. Well, wait a second. You want to let the states figure it out? I'll tell you what's going to happen. The states are going to do exactly what you're going to say, dealing with gun violence. And that's where, again, you know that big, you know, that sound I use, the big red flag horn? Let's see if we can hear this. Exactly. All we're going to be doing is put more cops. It's going to harass more black people. It's going to harass more POCs. And it already started. It was at Washington Square Park, and you had NYPD running up on a protest on people. I didn't even know it was happening. It was some kind of protest was happening with the LGBT community or something like that. And it was in the papers, and the police was running up on them. I don't know why. If they want to protest, and it wasn't, let them protest, and then whatever, let them do their thing. You could just stand there quietly and do it. But I don't know the details, so all I saw was a picture of them, you know, the NYPD running up on these people. But this is what I'm talking about. So we're going to do this again. So it's funny how the machine, the cogs of the machine works with no problem. It's all greased up and functioning as it should. Money's being allocated. People are going out there. The state's going to get their money. They're going to hire more cops. They're going to get more equipment. They're going to do the same thing they've been doing all a while. But when we're talking about actually issues, legislation that's going to help protect the black folks in this country, and the FBI has said, the FBI has put out a report saying white supremacists have invaded PDs across America. A report, black and white, you can physically hold it in your hand. They did this study, and here we are doing the same thing. We're not doing anything about that. We're not dealing with about the issues of police brutality across America, but we're going to deal with this bill. So you want me to believe, and I always said, as a founder, this is what I'm doing. I could go about my business as a black founder, as a founder in general, not even to deal with black in any way. I'm going about my business. I'm talking to VCs. I'm talking to angel investors. I'm going to San Francisco. I'm going to New York. I'm going to Atlanta. I get my first round. I get my term sheet. And all as I'm doing all of this business, people say, since my face gets all over the place, people know who I am. It's Nova Phoenix, owns Lyfeblood.com. But not everybody knows me. And then I go about my business, and I have to deal with this situation. So what does it matter if I make progress in my brand, in my business, and I still have to deal with issues of a life or death situation when it comes to corrupt cops, when it comes to racist cops? This is what we're dealing with. I could get my house on a hill. I can make $1 billion. All of a sudden, I moved to Nevada. Right? So I'm isolated in a bubble because I had that financial privilege now. But all the rest of the people in America is going to deal with the same thing. Man, I tell you, boy, it is what it is, man. We push forward. We're going to keep on doing the do. We're going to get out on those streets. That's what we do, man. That's what it is, the struggle, man. That's the struggle. That's the story. That's the adventure, I guess you want to say, lightning in a certain way, right? You got to deal with this bullshit. Yeah. Next is Volkswagen. Last thing before I move on and I get to the rest of the show. Volkswagen is going to stop selling internal combustion engines, man. They're gonna stop selling it. They're gonna stop selling by 2035. I think that's a beautiful thing. I wonder if all the other car companies are doing the same thing, if they have end dates. They say anyway, I think anywhere between 2030 to 2035, but they're gonna totally stop selling ICE. I think it's about time. I hope that they deal with these trucking fleets, because I'm tired of driving behind these old ass trucks, these box trucks, and we stop at a red light and then it takes off and it just lets off, just billows out black smoke out the back, and I gotta catch a face full of that shit. Man, I can't. Listen, let's electrify these cars, but let's definitely electrify these freaking big rigs, man. These trucks, because some of these businesses, man, I tell you, they hanging on to these box trucks by a thread, and they're like, listen, as long as it keeps moving, that thing is a death trap, bro. An environmental death trap. I literally sometimes in situations I slow down about 10 cars to get between me and some of these trucks. I'm like, yo, I'm not driving behind this damn truck, and I gotta be breathing this black smoke. It's bad enough we talk about the environment, and I gotta freaking drive behind this box truck. Come on, man. I get over to the farthest lane, slowing like 10 cars to get between me and these freaking trucks, man. Man, I'm sorry to say. Anywho, let's get to some music. Yeah. I don't have any fresh joints for you guys. My bad. You know how things can get. But I got enough music in the Rolodex. And you probably haven't heard of it because you just may not have. But you're going to hear it today. So I got 2 songs coming up for you guys. It's Iman Jordan with Shallow. And then we have Warner Alexander with Black Tux. So you enjoy the tunes. Make sure you go to my IG profile when I do share the promo photo. Go to their IG page. Support them. That's what it's about. Let's get into this music, and we'll follow up with the second segment. Okay.
Fuck, I'm out the flow. Stuck between lows everywhere I go. I'm hitting waves on my own. Be careful of the crew, careful what you do, careful only you, people love and lose. Be careful, never truths getting out of view, careful never you, careful what you do. Cause sometimes I be hollow, chasing my own shadow. I can't go too deep, no, I'm swimming in the shallow. Cause sometimes I be hollow, chasing my own shadow.
Listen up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
I'm swimming in the shallow. Maybe I'm immature lately. I'm insecure, closed off from something more. But hear me out, no. Yeah. I can't go too deep, no, I'm swimming in the shallow. If I told the truth, would you live and learn? Practice being you, or you crash and burn. Cause you don't understand where I've been at for a while now, yeah. Somewhere, hiding from my heart. Scared of what you say, so I played the part. Something about that life that was never true. It's hard in the shallow. Something about that shallow, in the shallow. Yeah. For some damn reason, I can't go too deep. No, I'm swimming in the shallow. Yeah, it happens every season. Everything's a season. I can't go too deep. No, I'm swimming in the shallow. For some reason. shallow.
On the #1 podcast platform in the world, GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
Black don't crack, thanks ancestors. The whip came black on black, that's the Tesla. The deal don't fit my price, I reject it. Black tux to complement complexion. My skin is a blessing, I'm black and it's cool. Perception no weapon, I'm sharp as a tool. Her nappy is tangled, break combs when it's pulled. What you label a nigga, I'll show you the truth. Don't call me a killer royal, just sent the blood of a king. Can't call me a thief, the soil we reap, you stole from a chief. Can't call me a thug, you planted the drugs in communities. Put liquor stores on her block to imprison the way we think. Don't call me a bum, America now is because of me. Can't call me a liar, history lies on the page with ink. You call me a nigga, why? Cause the melanin in my genes has proof for some generations that black is the fucking king. I'm black and it's special, I love me some food. Jump high if I wanna, in sports I'm that dude. My closet is pricey, I love me some shoes. If I wear it, the price will double, I made it look cool. Why the fuck do you hate us? If anything, you should love us. Cause my skin is a different color. For many generations, my people not only suffer, but manage to show restraint not to murder you motherfuckers. Black don't crack, thanks ancestors. The whip came black on black, that's the Tesla. The deal don't fit my price, I reject it. Black tux to complement complexion.
We are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. We shouldn't have to protest because y'all are treating us wrong. We do this because we need to and have right. It's a shame that our fathers and mothers are killed and we can't even see them anymore. That's right. It's a shame that we have to go to the graveyard and bury them. And we have tears, and we shouldn't have tears.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a lifer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
All right, yeah. So what we doing? So yeah, before I go off into business of the week for this second segment, there was a little thing, I didn't mention it probably in the opening mentions. There was a little thing that's going around that was on Hot 97. And I think this reggae artist named Spice. Let's see here, reggae artist. I never heard of her before. Hot 97. I think she was talking about hip hop. No, of course she's talking about hip hop. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get her name, man. All of a sudden, man. All right, I'll play the joint. For you. I'll cue it up.
Reggae was big in South Carolina. They had the music farm down there. The music farm used to have like a reggae night.
Yep. You love hip hop though.
Love hip hop.
But hip hop came from dancehall.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
No.
It's like student.
I'm going with whatever Spice says.
Yes, ma'am. No.
Even right now, when you watch Versus, that is all coming from dancehall.
Now that was great.
Dancehalls,
you know. No, she means the battles came from dancehall, not the.
Oh yeah.
The whole Versus thing is
and even who started hip hop was a Jamaican who came to New York. Brooklyn.
Cool Herc. Yes.
And that's how hip hop started. So we have to respect and pay respect to the real genre.
I definitely respect it.
Yeah.
But I want you to like it. I want you to listen more dancehall and get a feel of it. I promise you.
That's what it is. I need to listen to more.
You know what my song called "So Me Like It"?
Yeah. So yeah, she said that about the history of hip hop, and Kool Herc, because he's Jamaican. Hip hop pretty much came from reggae music. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, not really. Yo, slow down, man, slow down. Hip hop is Black American music. Yeah, Kool Herc is Jamaican, and he came to the Bronx when he was 12, but that just because of that doesn't mean that hip hop came out of reggae music. Nah, he just happened to be Jamaican, and he came over here. He migrated up to the Bronx over here, 1520 Cedric Avenue, and he was just put music together from the musical influences from up here. So you know how the story go. Kool Herc, pretty much birthed the art form when he was doing some music for his sister's birthday party, and from there he was just putting two turntables together and rocking. And he had his man Coke LaRock, and they said the first MC, and they just did parties from there. He heard the break beat from R&B songs, and then he found out that's what people like listening to. That's what jumped people off at the parties, and he put these break beats back and back. I think he said he calls it the merry-go-round. So in order to extend the break beat, he just switched from one turntable to the next. And that's, of course, you had the cats from the streets come and doing what they popping and locking, they break dancing, boom, 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 how it was in the 70s, late 70s. And they rocked out. And here we have an art firm, and then Grandmaster Flash came by and continued to work and flipped it in his own way and did his little spin on the music. So there was a whole bunch of people that came out there in the 70s and really rocked it out, and they were the originators of hip hop music. But that ain't come from Jamaican music. Don't trip out, man. But I'm not tripping on Spice if I have a name right, because sometimes a lot of times people are just misinformed, and I don't take it as being malicious in any way. But that's how information gets around when you really don't understand the history to music. She heard it from somebody else and she just ran with it and she said it on radio. But the difference is it's a whole other reach and impact and spread. It's one thing to say it in a small room with four walls. It's a whole other thing when you got a mic in front of your face and you're hitting the whole, not just the tri-state area, but you're hitting the world. So you got to make sure whatever you say in those situations, and just be careful in what you say. I'm like, hey, I may be misunderstood. I may have this wrong, but here's my take on it. But you're going into it like, yo, man, nah, man, don't trip now. Don't trip. There are influences as the years as hip hop grew. Of course, there were influences, but if you're talking about the origination of the art form, nah, man, that was from music from up here, man, from R&B, and you know what I mean? Yeah, and and let me say, everybody knows who Tariq Nasheed is. So Tariq, he talked about it. He was getting extra. Oh my God! So you listen to Tariq Nasheed, the dude who comes out with his the DVDs, Hidden Colors and all that. And he be getting on the extra trolling tip, like, nah, this is FBA music. And he's coming off the energy with the whole Juve thing that Michael B. Jordan did, and then Nicki Minaj chimed in, was like, nah, that's cultural appropriation. And you know what he be on? Listen, it is what it is. Whatever you want to call it, I understand. In this region, this is Black American music. I get it. But sometimes he becoming extra slick. Now, you can correct people without having to insult them. I know. You hear it. But sometimes this dude Tariq be getting extra spicy. Like, nah, that's Black American music. Y'all be the immigrants and ... right? I'm like, you know what? And it doesn't help in the grand scheme of things, the conversation and how we talk to each other as Black people, and how we can communicate in ways where it can enlighten folks without tearing them down. So Nikki, I had a problem with what Nikki said, because I'm like, come on, Nikki, let's be real. All right. You ain't need to say all that about Michael B. Jordan. And it turns out Michael B. Jordan's partner is Trinidadian, and they make the liquor in Trinidad. But why are we going to split hairs here, Nikki? Why are we going to split hairs? Come on, let's not do that. I don't know where she got that energy from for her to say all that. I think I personally think it could probably come from What Tariq be talking about with this FBA business, people get slighted and they want to throw it out there. So now Tariq is going to hear it, and now he's going to double down on this FBA business, and all of a sudden, now you got a bunch of people tight, and what happens? You get divisions. And we don't need divisions. We don't need divisions, all right? In hip-hop music, and it's the part of the African-American story where a lot of the West Indian people, a lot of the Caribbean folks came up in the 70s. Now, Caribbean people just wasn't coming up in the 70s now. Caribbean people, when it comes to Black American culture, they always been here. You see it in the music of bebop and jazz and blues, and you see it in all art forms. You see different people that came up from the islands. Harry Belafonte, he's West Indian, but he was a big part in Black American cinema and music. He was a big part of that. You can't keep him out the story. It's a smorgasbord. Now, I'm not saying and the thing that really got me upset, he's like, oh, they want to replace us. I'm like, yo, bro, ain't nobody trying to replace Black Americans, yo. Nobody's trying to play. We've always been there. And there was a great migration in the 70s, and hip hop has a huge, not population, number of artists that come from the Caribbean, from Barbados. And I said this on a show, Jamaican, Rihanna, all of them. So, and we influence each other. Yes, we understand there are people that have been born here first generation, like myself. I come from Panama. I'm first generation, and that's how I see them. I grew up in Black American culture. Of course, I'm rooted. My lineage goes through Panama. But then when I really do the digging on my family lineage, I'm pretty much, my family's all over the place in the Caribbean. So who am I? Who am I? If I'm just not Panamanian, but tied to all these other islands. When you start doing the family history, who am I? So now that's a part of the story, and it was a piece, and I didn't have that piece ready. If I see if I could get it. Ma Rainey, they had the pianist that was talking in his poem as he's playing the piano, talking about the smorgasbord of music, and we're all wrapped up together, making a whole new gumbo, a whole new taste. And that's essentially what Black music is. And everyone had contributed to hip hop and all other musical art forms, regardless if you are Black American generationally, if you're Black from the Caribbean, if you're Black from the continent. We've all come here and we're putting a smorgasbord of our own influences into the art form. But of course, we understand hip hop and where it came from. Come on. What are we talking about? Kool Herc is Jamaican. But he still was playing the Black American tunes from the previous decades and spun a whole freaking art form from it. And everybody, his man Coke LaRock is from North Carolina, I think, because they were saying he was Jamaican. And he's like, nah, I'm from North Carolina. So we both played with each other hand in hand, coming up in this hip hop game and all other musical. Come on, what are we talking about here? So when Nikki gets into this talk of this cultural appropriation, nah, come on, it's silly. And then Tariq want to chime in, no, that's FBA, they trying to, what are we talking, come on, stop this stupid bickering. It's nonsense. It's all nonsense, especially when I come from my history, using my history as an example. What we come on, man. So we get into this little petty bickering. No, that's FBA. No, that's Western. No, come on. Shut up, everybody. Shut up. We'll get the history right. Yes, Nikki was talked crazy. Tariq, be quiet, man. And he talking about, oh, I got to do what he say? I got to do a hip hop documentary. No, you don't got to do no hip hop documentary, people. Listen. Tariq is not the end all be all to history, okay? People, wake up. Everybody that comments and watches the show, he's not the end all be all. There are a bunch of historians out there that do the hard work. So you don't have to wait for this guy to make a documentary for you. Be like, oh, that's hip hop. No, there are tons of hip hop documentaries already out. And matter of fact, let me throw one else out to you. The people that made hip hop are still alive today. You can ask them directly. from Kool Herc and all of them. They're still alive today. They're still breathing. They're still having breakfast. They're still putting on one pant leg at a time. They're still putting on sneakers. Yeah, they're alive. And they got kids in their 30s. So you can ask them because they were there. So you don't have to wait for this dude Tariq to make it. I'm not trying to do what Tariq do and disrespect and just start belittling people, try to invent. Nah. Sometimes you get caught up in his own like his wild freaking world that he created. But nah, you don't have to. The documentary's already out there. There are a bunch of interviews that were done on Kool Herc and all the other hip hop golden age cats. They're right there, man. All right, let's just stop all this stupidness. Anyway, let's get into as I said, business of the weekend. We'll continue with the segment. All right, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Bringing you the business of the week and its innovative founders is what you've been waiting for.
Isn't it time to get away? We're coming out of this COVID ordeal, and a lot of us are turning around the idea of what it is to live, to truly live. Vacation is one activity to do a reset in comfort, style, and relaxation right before we start to brainstorm how we're going to restart in the place where we live. I can think of one spot. It's Fondue Resort right in St. Lucia. A beautiful resort on the island of St. Lucia ran by Arlene and Lighton LaMontagne. Visitors can enjoy the wonderful colleges, rejuvenating spas, fine dining of St. Lucian delicacies, walk nature trails, plant trees, learn St. Lucian foods through cooking classes with your significant other, and much more. It's a wondrous place to visit to unwind under the sun while listening to crystal blue roaring waves. Lyfeblood.com would like to salute Fondue Eco Resort for providing a tranquil space, a mellow outing out in the Caribbean. What a time, what a vibe, what a glorious atmosphere to let oneself go. So now let's make that call. All right, so we're back. Yeah, man. So this is my deal. Facebook, it's all about Facebook. So a part of my week, and I'll say it would happen one fine Sunday morning, I get on IG after I wake up. I look at and I scroll through, and all of a sudden I get a pop-up window in IG saying that they're threatening to shut me down. I was like, shut me down for what? And I kind of cast it off. I was like, yo, whatever. But then I started really thinking about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I started freaking getting upset. I'm like, wait a second, why are they banning me? What'd I do? So they were saying that, and I tried to like push it off initially, like, maybe it's just algorithms fucking up. But I'm like, no, wait a second. Why are they gonna ban me? And they didn't even explain why they were gonna ban me. They didn't explain. They just said I was in violation of their regulations, of their, what's the word, their guidelines. And then I was at risk of being banned. And they say if I wanted to contest it, then respond with these 3 generic things or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, what? So I picked the closest thing, clicked it. And the more I thought about it, the more I got upset. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? First, y'all banned me, all right? You clipped my wings, you took it. And I explained it in a post I did on IG on that Sunday. And I was just going to explain it a little bit more. And I said it, and a lot of people, you listen to me, I've said it before. They clipped my wings. I could no longer promote back in October 2019. They didn't give me, it was something with politics, whatever. There was campaigns going on. There was a bunch of like people just trying to sour the whole campaign. So they were trying to protect the sanctity, I guess if you want to call it that, of the whole voting process, U.S. voting process. So they decided to shut down, social media decided to shut down anything dealing with politics so they could keep it as, pure, quote unquote, or uninterrupted as possible as we went through it. So understood it. A couple of months later, after in 2020, they sent out a message saying that it's been lifted. People can promote once again, right? So I go back and I still can't promote. And whatever happened to me happened way before social media or Facebook ever decided to shut down the promotion feature. So I was already out the game by the time they put it out there. And when they came back in 2020 saying, hey, we reinstated it, I still couldn't do it. And I was trying to figure out ways, how do I respond? And that's even convoluted and so it's like, how do I find, where's the email? Where's a phone number? How can I contact these people? And I did respond in a way, never got a response. I was locked out. So I was like, fuck it, I locked out. And it was at the time when I was getting 1 million impressions a month. And that's pretty good when you're building up, when you're on your way building up. 1 million eyes that's a lot. And I was locked the fuck out. So now I'm like, all right, well, I'm locked out. It is what it is. I'll push on. I'll promote on Twitter. I'll do whatever I can. It is what it is. It's a part of the story, right? So here we go. Fast forward. Now they're going to ban me for what? So you took my feature away to promote. You did it all that. And now you're saying that you want to just ban me, right? Yo, unbelievable. And you know what? And I said, fuck Facebook, fuck Instagram. Ban me, fuck them off, ban me. You want to remove my page? That's fine. Because it come to find out when you really look how social media works, people will get millions of likes off of cat videos and TikTok dances and all this. If you an IG model and you modeling consistently, putting out your skin, they don't have no problems with that. They won't ban you for that, but they want to ban me for what? For what? For what? There's worse shit out there, but you want to ban me? What did I say? And you can't even explain it? And I'm just one of many that are being banned from IG. Oh, Boosie gets banned. Now, he did some things where they say in violation of the guidance fine. But he came back. They banned him again. He came back. They banned him again. To the point where he's talking about Mark Zuckerberg is racist. How do I get back on there? And at the third time when he was saying all that, I was like, man, Boosie, if you listen to this, I'm telling you, man, have some pride, man. Have some dignity. If they kicking you off, stay the fuck off. Stay off, man. Do something else. They don't want you on there, that's fine. But you can't curse the man that owns the company, Facebook, Instagram, and you want to force your way back up on there. If that's your third time being man, stay off. Do some of your own shit. Okay? Talib Kweli gets banned. Lil Duval gets banned, the comedian. Now, there's another dude by the name of Comedian Tricks. Just recently, I saw this a day or so ago. He's talking about, he really believes that black content creators are getting kicked off because he put a picture on or a video or something. It got kicked off. And he responded saying, hey, man, what are you talking about? They lifted it and said, our bad. Facebook was our bad. Go ahead, you can post it again. He posted. They ripped that picture off again. So he was like, yo, what the hell's going on here? So is it bad algorithm? I don't know. Things don't work as they should, right? When you just hit a couple keys, computers don't work all the time. They glitch, but who knows? But when you have the same type of people that's getting banned, put out there, then you start thinking, what is going on? So check this out, turn of events. So a day ago, I get an email. I curse out Facebook and IG. I don't give a fuck. Ban me. Ban me. I'm doing my own thing. I got my own social media platform. You could go ahead and ban me. I don't give a damn. It's a part of my story and my success story. I'm going to say all this shit that I've been going through when I'm sitting on my hill, and this is what I'm going to talk about. So guess what? I get an email, and I'll say to you guys exactly what they said. So after I went on my tirade and I hashtag Facebook and IG, they send me back an email the next day. First thing in the morning that I see is Facebook. And they're saying, hi, Nova. We reviewed your Facebook account and determined that access to advertising features was incorrectly disabled. We've reinstated your access to advertising. Any ads that were affected will return to their previous status. We apologize for any inconvenience. Thanks. They sent that to me. Really? Really? Incorrectly disabled. I was incorrectly disabled by accident on their half for over a year. You could say, hey, it was an accident after a month. You can say, hey, it was an accident after 2 months. But goddamn, I had to go off on a tirade and go off on Facebook and Instagram and Mark Zuckerberg, and then all of a sudden, oh, like magic, poof, they pop up the next morning saying, hey, that was our bad. You can go promote again. After a year? Yo, who's over there in that office? So, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. Y'all could ban me. Ban me. Fuck y'all, Facebook. Fuck y'all, Instagram. Your shit is fucking outdated anyway. So you go ahead and do your thing, because I have my story to tell. I know what I'm doing with Facebook. I know what I'm doing with Lyfeblood. And I'm talking to you guys on GCOM Radio. You understand what I'm saying? Everything that Lyfeblood. Hey, listen, Facebook to me is old news. What is Facebook anyway? People are getting tired. Okay, the magic is there at the very beginning. Oh, you could talk to people. Oh, that's great. And they have all these features on Facebook. Oh, you could do this. Oh, you could do that. We have this merchandising section. This is the latest one I just found out. There's a dating online thing on Facebook. Now you could do dating. Okay, and talk. Communicate. And yeah, all right. Taking your data. They want to track you. They want to do all these things for you to be a more efficient consumer. So you want to profess that you got 1 billion people online on Facebook, but what are you doing with that? You're not doing anything. It's people talking. Well, we got 1 billion people on there. Yeah, that's all well and good. You have 1 billion people, but the conversation is happening in smaller circles. I'm getting tired of this. We don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to talk to this person. It's talking. Yeah, we could talk. People are going through social media. You actually want to, I got enough social media. That's what people are saying right now. See, you on the top of the hill, you talking about, wow, well, you got 1 billion, But really the conversation that's happening amongst people is like, Facebook, whatever. I haven't been on Facebook for 2 weeks. I haven't been on Facebook for 6 months. I haven't been on Facebook. Okay, whatever. But that's okay. You can keep Facebook. Because Lyfeblood is doing something totally different. Yes, it's a social media platform. Again, if you listen to me, you know what Lyfeblood is all about. It's about talking to people, building on your passion, and when people are really keyed into what you're doing, they give you $1 minimum per month. That's just the very basics of what Lyfeblood is about. But it's also about building community. It's just not talking for talking's sake about gossip and Kim Kardashian, what happened on BET News, what's going on in politics. No, I talk about those things because those is conversation starters for the platform, but really is about developing community and figuring out the answers to the issues of what's going on in society, technology-wise, socially, or environmentally. Any one of these things that gets you up in the morning and the last thought you think of at night, on top of what you feel is your passion that you're trying to develop. This is what we're trying to create. And out of that, we want to implement solutions, not just on a county level, city level, but also on a national level and international level as we develop this new economic engine to help sustain each other. That's what Lyfeblood is about. And I'm giving you the tip of the iceberg because I don't want to tell you everything, because then all of a sudden Facebook is listening and then all of a sudden, boop, it pops up right on. Hey, we do that too. That's a very small thing of what we're doing with Lyfeblood. That's just to get the engine turning. But as the engine starts turning and building up momentum and builds momentum, then out of that, we have other ideas that's going to come from that as we develop. How can we change our condition? How can we change the rut that we're in? And this is everything that we've been talking about with the pandemic of being sheltered in. Now the cities are opening up and people are realizing, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. But the captains of industry, the bosses, the CEOs are saying, no, you go back to work and you better take this job and like it. But people are begrudgingly going back, slowly just dragging their feet. And really, they're just not going back. So how can we improve our society? Let's just not talk just for talking's sake. Let's actually start talking to each other and start building on a communal level. Start changing the way where we get money, how we're getting money, how we're going to do this. Stop relying on a centralized way of finding revenue. Let's decentralize it. Let's understand our power within ourselves and with the people next to us. And we can either talk where we're talking on this program, or we could talk outside in the physical. We're sitting in the park, just chatting and going and just exchanging ideas. And then it could go right here back on Lyfeblood platform. We're trying to build something, not just talking, playing footsies. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm not just talking about music. Music is one part of it because I was an artist at one point, and I want the best for artists. Whatever genre that you're in, you should be properly compensated for that. But also whatever other discipline that you have, you're freaking an auto engineer, you're a mathematician, you're a physicist, you're into ecology, whatever discipline that you're in. And you should get compensated for that. Oh, wow, you built something that's going to decompose plastics. All you need to do is scale up. Sure, here's $1. You have 10,000 people. You have $10,000 is coming to you per month in order for you to scale up as you build out your network. And you know what else you eliminate? You eliminate them bullshit people on those social media sites that really don't have a following, and it's fucking fake. At least if you have 20,000 followers and 10,000 people giving you $1 a month, you know you got a solid 10,000 people that really dig what you're doing. Even if you have 22,000 followers, at least the people you talk to, you could say, you could just print out your metrics so you could say, hey man, see, I got 22,000 people, but I'm getting $10,000 out of this. That's 10,000 people that's watching. Now it's verifiable. It's quantified. So when you go to that, I don't know, you have someone that wants you to go to Puma, and Puma's like, oh, well, do you really? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I do have those people because they support me in what I do. That's a small kernel with Lyfeblood as far as the lifers that create the world that they want within this new space that we have. Fuck Facebook, man. Facebook is trash because what they're doing, they're easily replaceable. And that's what they fear because they don't want to do anything else. They just want to just be this, buy, and buy. That's all we want from our users. Just buy, and buy. Hey, huh? Yeah? No. This is a 360-degree understanding of Lyfeblood and how we really want to change that experience. It's just not something that's happening in one direction. So what are we doing for 2021? And as I said, I'm reaching out to venture capitalists. This is the year where we're going to get a VC and build up. We're going to redesign the site, set it on a new stage, and then we're going to go forward and reintroduce it to you guys. And that's all a part of you being a part of this new platform. So you go, hey, that's even better when I talk to VCs. And there are other things that I'm going to incorporate within Lyfeblood.com in addition to the economic engine that we're trying to build when we trade dollars with each other. This is a whole new world I'm thinking of here. And I'm not playing footsies with just sharing a TikTok dance. If you want to do that, that's fine. That's great. You want to dance? It's great. You're a dancer. I don't have no problem with that. And it's funny what's happening that's really spinning up, getting traction is the actual TikTok content creators, the black ones, are not getting compensated for what they're doing. They're tired of being overlooked and pushed to the side. And you have a lot of other white creators. Hey, listen, if you want to dance, dance. That's not the problem. What black content creators are having with their TikTok dances is the system is pushing them to the side and only financially compensating the white content creators that are just copying what the black content creators are doing. And they're pissed at that. And they're actually hashtagging say, no more dancing. Because black people say, hey, listen, if we're the drivers of the culture, people copy our dance, at least let me get in on this. And now it's gotten to the point where you're making these platforms live off of what you're giving, this black girl magic, this black boy magic, and you give it up to them. At some point, being okay, that's enough. So, hey, what I have, please come by Lyfeblood.com. We have a door open for you where you could get compensated. And we'll figure it out as we're getting our hands dirty and building with our new partner, our new venture capitalist partner, and we're going to make it work. And we're going to be bigger than Facebook. So along with 2021, not just the VCs that we're going to talk to, but we're also, as I said, I didn't want to talk about it, we're also going to do a show. Yes, that's what I was holding on to. We are going to do a show. GCOM Radio, and the 3rd anniversary is coming up, and I'm like, wow, I really got to know a lot of dope artists and the music that they created, the people that have record deals and the people that are on the come up, and I'm like, what do I do with all this content? What do I do with all this talent? And I decided, you know what, I'm going to do a show, and it's going to be not some small show, but it's going to be a big one. We're going to hit the radio, we're going to hit online, social media, we're going to hit everywhere where we get the word out that, hey man, we doing the show as an appreciation for all the artists that have come on the show and supported GCOM Radio by submitting their music. We're gonna do this venue and we're gonna do it right. And it's a couple of big ones that hopefully that we can make it happen. Say hopefully I can have something. So I'll see what going, but this is all a part of Lyfeblood.com. This is all a part of GCOM Radio podcast as a part of Lyfeblood.com. We want to give it to you guys the right way, and we're going to blow the roof off this motherfucker. That's how we're coming for 2021. But I know we're still in I know we're still in the pandemic. So there are certain venues and places that are still kind of semi-shut down. So they're trying to work it out. But hey, man, we're going to get there. So by the time it comes, everything will fall into its right place come time. And we're going to go hard, man. So there's a lot of things that's going on for the brand that I talk about, that I don't talk about, but that's all good because I like to keep my head down, as I say. I like to keep working and keep building and expanding and build whatever it takes, man. I'm a Capricorn, man. I climb to the top of that peak of that mountain no matter how long it takes. That's what Capricorns do. So yeah, as I said, fuck Facebook. I'm gonna say it again, fuck IG. I don't give a fuck about y'all. You do what you want because you know what? This is your platform. It's a private entity, private business. Fuck off. I understand. I'll do it my way and I'll post as much as I can and all right, cool, whatever. But there's going to be a time where you're going to come with the bullshit again and you're going to try to shut me down. Shut me down. Because I'm going in a whole other direction. All right. Let's get back to some tunes. And then I got some throwbacks for you guys. That's Imani Beau with HMU. And then right up behind Imani Beau is Slim Mucho. And his song is Sincerely Mucho. You know what you guys got to do. Go to my IG page, look up these artists, support them, buy their music. It's whether it's $4.99, $5.99, buy it, digital download. That's the best way you can support artists. The best way. All right, so let's listen to these. Let's listen to these rhythms and let's get into the last segment. Okay.
favorite lover. I could never trade you for another, I swear. I would never change a hair on your body, on your head. So won't you hit me up, call my phone, send me a text, show me some love. I'm sending you the kiss your face, wanna see what that body do. I just wanna see you. Hit me up, 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 hit me up. Yeah. No pain, no gain. I love it when you bite it. Call me your baby. Make sure it's slippery, slippery and savory. You do all the right things by yourself. I don't wanna.
Ooh, a GCOM exclusive.
Baby, you got me through. Got me coming back for more. Nobody has to know. So won't you hit me up, call my phone, send me a text, show me some love. I'm sending you the kiss your face, wanna see what that body do. I just wanna see you. Hit me up, 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 hit me up. Take me to the room, I'm ready. I know you like it when I call you daddy. Put your hands on my body, rock steady. Rock, rock, rock steady. You make me come like confetti. Hit it twice in the back of the Chevy. Another bottle of Azul, I'm dead. Cut it up like machete. Baby, don't quit, don't stop, please. All on my lips like 50. And I swear that I would never change a hair on your body or your head. Hit me up, call my phone, send me a text, show me some love. Sending you the kiss your face, wanna see what that body do. I just wanna see you. Hit me up, 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 hit me up.
You know what you're rocking to?
Rocking with the best.
Only the best. GCOM Radio.
Here's a message to my unborn. It's a cold world, even when the sun's warm. Only put our hands up when they guns drawn. They simply don't feel us. They wanna put 3 in our chest like the hiccups. Young, black, and gifted, and they still judge me. I could give a damn as long as my daughters love me. Bridges burn, you can hear it in my cadence. Tell a man the truth, he quick to say that you hating. They think it happens overnight. Nah, it takes patience. These women come forth, family God, then it's paper. Never judge before you love. Guilty before innocent when you the same color as us. German engineering when I steer it. Always run directly towards it, even when you fear it. The stress get heavy, especially when you near it. I'm talking about your goals, and when you feel it in your soul, you close.
Hey son, you are the best thing that could have ever happened to me. November 11th, 1987. I am so proud of you and all of your accomplishments as a dad and a provider. You've been a great son.
Made my own way. I don't need no handouts. Tell a nigga no. Now he not your man now. The hate start showing. You hear it in they quotes. Niggas be confused, claiming that they woke. 2020 luxury, whip with the bucket seats. Love out to everyone who stuck with me. From the mud and fuck with me. Gotta love Brit, cause she rode it, she love a G. And she stayed down, that's what's up to me. Doing 60 and a 45. I'ma need a clone just to count up all these blessings. Real niggas in the drought. Kept it 100 when these niggas couldn't count. Evolved from the boy. always was the man. Nowadays, these boys popping perks, popping Zans. So I gotta move smart, do it with a plan. Teach my daughters, do it for themselves and never for a man. Damn.
I was looking like son. Sorry, Dad. I missed talking with you this evening. But I wanted you to know, from the day that you left North New Jersey, 2007, you left as a young child. Today, you are a grown man.
All right, so we're back. Yeah, man. Before we go into the news you need to know, next week I know ahead of time what I will have for you on one of the segments, second or third segment. That would be a review of Deon Taylor's movie, The House Next Door, Meet the Blacks 2. It looked funny from the trailer, and I'm super excited to go watch it. And I'm taking the time out and watch it. Man, I'll come with my own personal review on the joint. And it's probably like already a lot of reviews on The House Next Door, but I'm going to give you my review. And you know what's funny? I don't even know this dude. He usually does reviews of movies. I haven't seen them lately. What's his brother's name? I forgot the brother's name. Anyway, he's a comedian, and he does a lot of voiceovers on cats and animals and all this stuff. He's a real funny guy. But he usually does movie reviews. I haven't seen any much later. But hey, man, that's why I'm here. That's why I do movie reviews, because I love movies. Been watching it all my life. Yeah. All right. So let's get into the news you need to know, and we'll leave it to the last segment, and that's 7 tips of success, or 7 tips to success. All right, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
Viagra could have been a weapon against cramps. Just before the rave of Viagra, the blue pill that saved millions of male lives suffering from erectile dysfunction, sildenafil, the scientific name, was initially made for angina and hypertension. However, scientists noticed an interesting side effect from the drug. It gave penises an extra boost in strength and stamina. Sildenafil worked all over the body, relaxing the muscles and dilating blood vessels, which helped not only with the yang, but many other conditions. Interestingly, the drug also had subjects receive relief from uterine cramping. Forget that, the rest is history when researchers found out about the penile powering discovery. The drug industry made billions from helping underperforming men. Years ago, a clinical trial was run by Penn State University and the National Institute of Health from 2007 to 2011. With a small group of 25 participants, some getting Viagra and others a placebo, patients did experience massive relief from primary dysmenorrhea, period cramps. Even though it was a small study, there was promise of it helping women suffering from severe cramps. Unfortunately, this 8-year-old study lost attention and support because the medical industry didn't see any importance in understanding reproductive issues, not dealing with male members. Lucid Air ready to jump off the starting line. A new electric vehicle is on the way, hitting the public consciousness and the credit card. It's been in the works for quite some time, for about a decade, but now it's ready to make the big reveal. Over the years, it has struggled to raise money and almost went out of business. However, Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund has made a timely investment, and a SPAC, special purpose acquisition company, New Deal, left the company with $4.4 billion in cash. Lucid Air can be 1,000 horsepower under the hood, or a Grand Touring version has 800 horsepower with a starting price of $139,000. It will have a 517-mile range off its battery. With a sleek outer body, it's facing competition like Audi e-tron, Jaguar I-Pace, Polestar 2, Mercedes-Benz EQS, BMW i4, and of course the granddaddy of EVs, the Tesla Model S Plaid. Surely the vehicle will have more moderately priced cars in the near future. And that is the news you need to know. All right, let's get into the last segment. And right before I get in the last segment, you heard that thing about Lucid Air. Yo, why is that thing so expensive? Man, it's super expensive. I think these car companies, the EV car companies, will do a whole lot better if they make cars more accessible to the average person. When Tesla came out with I forgot what model, the Model T, whatever it is, the smaller version that's $35,000. Let me tell you, ever since they came out with that joint, I've been seeing a whole lot of people rocking that car, man. I don't think it's all about the six figures, and it's more than likely it's about recouping the money that they put into it, and the only way they can recoup fast enough is by having these six-figure cars. But to me, you only reach out to a small market of people that can afford cars that are in the six figures. But when you do it for 35, 40,000, I think just the middle class is a whole lot larger segment of the American population. And a lot more people will buy your cars. Trust me, they believe in EVs. They want to get an EV. And I see a whole ton of them on the road when I'm out there. So I see Tesla only spreading out even further. So if the Lucid Air can make a $35,000 car with all the bells and whistles, of course, probably 40. Look, trust me, people would buy it, and I'm sure they can recoup. It's all about the long game. All right, that's my 2 cents when I was doing that news you need to know. All right, so let's get into 7 tips to success. Now, this is my personal. I think I did it on the show before, but I've just been so excited and so supercharged lately. I felt like these were my personal little points of advice to those that are young and up and coming that want to get started as an entrepreneur, what you should look out for, what you should do. Now, I never had people that was looking out for me when I was coming up young, and there were a lot of insecurities that I had that kept me from taking the step that I wanted to take, and I had to learn it the long way, the hard way. But hopefully what I can share with you guys, the young people like 20, 19, 25 that really want to be entrepreneurs, what you can think about as you're growing, as you're making your journey as a founder in this game. So the first thing is listen to everyone, believe in no one. Listen to everyone, believe in no one. And I don't mean in a literal sense, like don't listen to anybody. Somebody tell you, don't go off that cliff. Like, I mean, obviously you're not going to just, go blindly off a cliff. But what I mean by that is there's going to come a time where everybody is going to have advice. Everybody is going to have something to say in what you're doing with your passion. It's going to be your mother. It's going to be your father. It's going to be your little brother. It's going to be your daughter, your son, your wife, anybody. Any and everybody will have advice of something that they would want to chip in their 2 cents because it's just something that you need to know. Listen to everyone, believe in no one. You're going to get some real crappy advice. You're going to get some things that's going to pull you back, but you have to listen to your inner gut. You have to do what's best for you, take in all that information and then block it out at the same time. Because as they say, when you get that gut feeling, what do they say with that gut feeling? You got to listen to your gut first. And there's a lot of things that I've learned in my past when I go through my mental, computer and I go back in time and I'm like, damn, my gut told me to do this and I didn't listen. And usually what your gut says, what your gut that gives you those feels, they're more than likely right. So listen to everyone and believe in no one. Understand what I'm saying? Next one, failures are a learning lesson. Do not get caught up in your failures. You're going to trip. You're going to fall. You're going to you're going to skin your knee. You're going to give yourself cuts and bruises. But at the end of the day, you have to learn, damn, what did I do wrong? How did I take this left turn? How did I mess this up? And in the moment, you're going to feel terrible. You're going to feel downtrodden. You're going to feel depressed. But you always have to remember that these things are lessons in disguise. They teach you what not to do. So the next time you're going off and trying to figure out where you should go with your business, you know not what to do. You write them down. You're like, okay, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to do that again. It's going to take a couple of tries. Remember the Wright brothers? The Wright brothers were 2 inventors that started the whole flying game. If you see old black and white footage of them trying to do different designs of trying to get a plane in the air, there were a lot of them. There were some good ideas, it looked like, but it crashed. And they could have gave up and they didn't. They kept on they pretty much learn from trial and error. They were, okay, that didn't work, and they kept going, okay, that didn't work, okay, keep on, okay, that, and who knows how many tries that they gave until they finally had a machine that took flight. So your failures are learning lessons. That's all there are. They're not saying that you should stop, not saying that you're not cut out for the business. You just have to learn how to be a better entrepreneur, how to be a better you. That's going to go into this entrepreneurship journey. Failures are your learning lessons. Next, number 3, don't wait for people. They come after. People come after. You can't wait. Okay, well, this person is not ready, so I guess I'm not ready either. Okay, that person doesn't think I should get it, and they say, hey, better luck next time, kid. Go ahead. Not me. Okay, that person says that they're saying that they don't have enough trust in me to really get this off. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna do that. Don't wait on people, man. People can't see your vision. People don't know in what way that you want to do it. Even if they do have the full rundown of what you actually want to do, they may not have the confidence to believe in you. But that doesn't mean you should stop because other people do not come to you. They come after. When you keep on going at it, when you keep on crunching away at the numbers, when you keep on designing that product, you're getting it out, you're building your name, you're starting to slowly grow traction. Sometimes it's not, look, do not believe in the overnight success. That sounds good on TV. That sounds good on 2020. It sounds good on Hot 97. It sounds good in a magazine when you're in Forbes. There's no such thing as an overnight success. Most of the time, you have to grind it out, get your hands dirty, and you have to get in the game for years. That's just what it is. Because you don't make it at a certain time, which you feel is the time frame that you should make it, then all of a sudden you should, I guess it's no. Don't wait for people. They come after. When you start building up because you did it, no matter how many people are by your side, the people will come after. Because now that your belief, the strength and the power in your belief that you manifested this product or this service, now the people are there. The money will be there. The people support will be there. The family will be there. The friends will be there. Don't worry about people, man. Just keep on pushing. Understand what I'm saying? Don't wait for people. They come after. Okay, next thing. Avoid the down and out, the depressed, and those with negative energy. Surround yourself with people who motivate you, the positive folks, the go-getters, there is a way type of people. When you surround yourself with negative people, what happens? That negative energy starts rubbing off on you. It's like a disease. It's kind of like a virus. When you surround your people that continuously want to live in dark corners, saying that's impossible, that can't happen, you're in over your head, I don't know, can't, won't, whatever. I tell my kid all the time, there's no such thing as can't or won't. Don't put that in your vocabulary. And when people have this negative energy, this dark cloud over your head, you start to thinking about that in that way. Well, I'm using word after word. You understand what I'm saying? You start thinking that way. If they don't think they can do it, then you start thinking, because I got caught like that too. I had people that I knew in my past that you can't do it, you won't, blah, 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 blah. And all that confidence that I had, everything that pushed me forward to make me live my passion, all of a sudden it starts shrinking because this negative energy just starts to slowly chip away at that positive belief. And next thing you know, you get in your head and you get in your chest and you just start sitting there and you become the person that you become the negative energy. You have to surround yourself around positive folks, the go-getters, the people that don't want to stop, the people that want better for you. They say, hey, yeah, you may have a mistake that you did. Man, I made this terrible mistake, and you're telling your friend, And they're like, really? Man, that's terrible. But you know what? Don't worry about that. This is who you should go to. Don't go to that person. Go to this person. Matter of fact, instead of going to that institution, go to this institution. Maybe you'll learn something. People that always forward you. That's who you want to surround yourself with. You want to surround yourself with people that there is a way type of people. They don't believe that it can't happen. They don't believe in you failed, then that's it. They keep pushing, they keep going. Those are the successful people. Remember, watch all the successful people on TV and see the common trait amongst all of them. They are the type of people that say to themselves, there is a way. And even when they fail, they still pick themselves up and keep going. Next, find a mentor for guidance. Now, I wish I had a mentor. I never had a mentor. Unfortunately, I wish I had, because a lot of the mistakes that I've made, I was hoping that a mentor could be there and say, okay, don't take that road. Don't take that direction. That's a pitfall. That's a hole. That's a cliff. You want to avoid those type of people. You don't want to take that deal. Those are the people that makes your life easier when you're trying to navigate through all the pitfalls and the cliffs, as I said, when you're walking your journey. That the mentors is what you need. I wish I had one. I didn't have it. I don't know why it didn't happen. Even when I was trying to say, man, I gotta look for a mentor, it never took place. But that's okay. That's totally fine. It's good to have a mentor. It could be your pop. Believe it or not, and as I said, depending. They got to be a go-getter though. It may be a non-family member. It could be, and even mentors coming in and out, man. Sometimes teachers are there just for the moment and then they disappear. So you never know when you're going to get that kernel of truth, that understanding. It could come from a homeless person telling you something. I remember what I did. Those are mentors in a small way. So remember that. Try to find a mentor to help guide you along your path. It's not the end all be all, but it's good to have along the way. You always got to have your Yoda with you. Don't get caught up in money. Number 6, don't get caught up in money. Don't get caught up in money. Don't think, man, that's a lot of money. I don't think I could do that. I don't know about that. And then you discourage yourself because there's a price tag attached to something. Don't worry about that. You set your path, you set your direction, where you want to go. You lay it on a piece of paper, you write it out. Okay, how much this is going to be, how the money will be there. The money will manifest itself somewhere, somehow, in some person, in some way. If you get caught up in the price of what it cost, then you lost the battle. You lost the battle. You'll find your way. You just do it. And sometimes, I'm not saying for you to say, wow, the raw material costs $1,000. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, okay, look, this may cost $1,000, but let me find something else where I can find it more, a cheaper product. Okay, maybe, I found something for $500. Okay, I could do that. Or you may find something by talking and getting the word out. Oh man, I found something for $250. So never get caught up in the number. Those things, it's irrelevant to what you want to achieve in your dreams. You just go after, you set your strategy, whether it's a product or service, and you go after it. The money will come in some way, shape, or form. It will present itself to you when it's time. And last but not least, don't give up. Don't give up. It will be mostly you who will carry you and your belief. That's another key feature or characteristic of successful people. Never giving up. There's going to be a lot of times where you're going to take a series of shots to the chin. Even in terms of boxing, I love boxing. You're going to lose a round or two. That's just what it is. You got 12 rounds to go through, and then you're going to lose a couple. That's just what it is. Not lose a couple of opportunities to put in shots. It's not just taking shots for that moment in a couple seconds. You're going to lose the round. And out of 12 rounds, you could lose 4 rounds. But guess what? What else you got left? You got 8 rounds left. So when you do the numbers and they start counting how many punches and power punches you put in the way that you did it, in what's the name? What's the word I'm looking for? The aggressiveness that you give your opponent, that makes all the difference. When you lead the fight, So even though you lost 4, they gave you 8. But you still won. And sometimes that 4 could go back to back to back. I'm like, damn, I lost. Jesus Christmas, I lost a whole lot of rounds. Understand? Round 4 to round 8. But then you push forward. You say, okay, how can I re-strategize? What am I doing that I'm getting caught in the grill? What am I doing that he keeps on slipping my punch? And you have to figure out his strategy. What is he doing? Is he stepping on my feet? Is he slipping to the right, slipping to the left? Damn, he got a lot of head movement. Oh, wait a second. I didn't know he had a soft gut. Let me exploit that. It's about strategizing as it happens. You could strategize when you watch the fight, when you watch your opponent, but it's a whole different thing when you're actually going through life, when you're going through the fight. Sometimes you got to shift and step left instead of stepping right. Sometimes you got to bob and weave where you didn't, man, I missed that one, but I'm not going to miss the set. It's all in the moment. So don't give up. You may take some shots. You may lose a couple of rounds, but you have to adjust in real time. And you'll figure it out if you stay keen, if you stay aware of the fight in front of you, the journey. You'll be fine. Keep going. Keep going. Keep your hands up. Make sure you watch those hands. Listen to your coach, mentor in this case. Stop listening to the crowd. That when I said don't worry about people, negative people, that crowd is gonna be you have 10,000 people surrounding you in your fight, and half the crowd saying you're gonna lose. Sometimes you gotta tune these people out and listen to key people, the ones that want the best for you, the go-getters. There is a way type of people. Don't get caught up in the money. Don't get caught up in the purse. The fight is right there. 12 rounds is right then and there. No time better than the present. It's what's in front of you. Don't worry about the money. Listen to everyone. Believe in no one. Again, the crowd. Everybody's going to tell you what you need to do in the fight. And failures are lessons. As a remember, you're going to take those losses in the ring. So remember those. So those are 7 points to success, people. Hopefully you can brood over it and meditate over it, and things that I've learned over my journey up to this point in my life. Hopefully I could give you those tips and it can help you along your journey as well. So I'm going to end the show like that. People, please go to Lyfeblood.com, sign up, build your passion. Share dollars with people instead of sharing dollars to all these damn companies and they ask for $2-3 a month. See, they're all getting in on the game. They know the deal. Instead of giving it to companies, give it to each other, man. The power is within each other, in your community, in your town, in your city, and around the globe, within your nation or outside your nation. Whatever kind of inspires you that can further humanity, further society. This is what it's about. So sign up, people. As I said, I don't give a damn about Facebook. I don't give a fucking damn about Instagram. Fuck them for all I care. Now look at it. Now they're opening them back up to me. How convenient. Look at that. But they are not, and they're in my rear view at this point. I'm pushing forward. I know what I need to do. So people, sign up. Let's build it. Let's build it. Reach out to me. You can reach out to me now as long as I'm still existing on social media. But definitely sign up, man. You can reach out to me. I'm out there. You know what the deal is. All right, folks. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next week. Peace.
Check it. You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. For the global community. We worldwide, baby. See you in the next go-round. From right here to your town. We out.